breaking news to bring you, and this is big. Starbucks' CEO, Lakshman Narasimhan, is now stepping down as CEO and director. That is effective immediately. The company has named Chipotle's CEO, Brian Niccol, as chairman and CEO. That's going to be effective September 9th. In the meantime, the company's CFO, Rachel Jerry, is going to be serving as interim CEO. This is big news in the world of both Starbucks and, of course, in the world of investments, because there have been a number of activist investors around this. Melody Hobson, the current Starbucks chair, will become lead independent director. And we're going to be able to break all this down, hopefully, in just a couple of minutes. She's going to join us on the show. But we've been talking about Starbucks for quite some time. Lakshman taking over the company about a year ago. The stock down since he took over. Just in the past year, you're looking at the stock down about 25%. By the way, the news here up now, putting the stock up about 8% on the back of this news.
Chipotle is doing.
Chipotle is down.
We should
7%.
also take a look at Chipotle as well, and we're going to have to see who's going to ultimately run that company. But you can see the confidence that people have in Brian.
Here we have the weekly price chart for Starbucks Corporation, stock ticker SBUX. As we can see here, the stock is taking a major jump on recent news that the prior CEO will be leaving the company. Starbucks is going to be replacing the old CEO with the Chipotle CPU. So both of these stocks are trading in opposite directions at the moment. What we can see here is that Starbucks has posted near-term highs coming in at $95.29. And this has forced the stock to trade above its exponential moving average cluster. So here we can see that the stock has successfully broken through its 20-week, 50-week, 200-week, and 100-week exponential moving averages, respectively. Overall, this does place the stock on a very strong trajectory here to start continuing to move in the forward direction. As things currently stand, the next level of resistance comes in at $97.70. And if we do see a break into this area, we will more than likely be testing this downtrend line that has been in place for quite some time. Specifically, we can look back at the highs from July 19, 2021, which came in at 126.32. And we can see that the stock has made a long succession of lower highs in the trading periods that have followed. So clearly this recent news is quite significant. It must have been difficult for Starbucks to attract the Chipotle CPU to their company, especially given the fact that Starbucks is having so many operational issues. But in any case, we can say that the stock is clearly responding favorably, and we will now be looking for resistance levels to be tested ahead. As I said, the stock is now broken above its exponential moving average cluster, and this does suggest that the momentum is focused in the upward direction. If we look at the weekly relative strength index reading, we can see that the stock has also broken above its prior downtrend, which suggests that the negative share price momentum that has governed the stock for quite a long period of time has now broken. Overall, this does suggest that the stock is trading in bullish territory, and more than likely we're now on a path to start to see the stock price continue moving higher. Pulling out a bit on these charts, we can see that some price levels to the downside could start to alter this view. Specifically, if we were to see a break of the $70.15 level, this would turn the outlook too bearish once again. Specifically, the reason that we're pointing to this price level comes from the fact that this has been tested on 3 or possibly 4 different occasions, depending on how you want to define the retest. Here we can see that the stock initially tested this area in the latter half of June 2020. So this would essentially mark the post-pandemic market reaction within the share price valuation. From there, we can see that the stock took a major turn higher as the markets responded to the pandemic and started to grow accustomed to the fact that lockdowns were in place. The stock was able to recover and reach these prior highs coming at 126.32. However, the reversal here was just as sharp and looks roughly symmetrical in nature, as we can see here. Overall, this was a major move lower, and we saw a retest of this $70.15 level relatively quickly. Essentially, this came during the middle portions of the May 2022 trading period. From there, the stock posted a succession of lower highs. So overall, we can see here that the stock was in major trouble before this news was released. As we can see here, the stock was really on course to break through the $70.15 level. However, this news has been received favorably enough by the market that we are starting to see major movements higher, and this does turn around the picture for the stock. Essentially, this is truly a game changer from a technical perspective.
Keep in mind what has happened to Chipotle stock since Nickel took over
it's
in
incredible.
2018. March 2018, he took over. The stock was split adjusted roughly $5 compared to where it is now.
Wow.
So that is the kind of operator
That's amazing.
he has been. They've been able to fight inflation with price increases, innovation to the menu, also a lot of technology improvements, the Autocado, which automatically scoops out the avocado. So a lot of things like that. If he can impart some of that to the Starbucks story, which has had so many different problems, for the first time offering a $5 pairing menu now, because they have to join the fight in terms of, consumers just pushing back on prices at this point. That's what Narasimhan has not been successful at. And so this is really seen as
it's amazing that they got
Starbucks.
It's amazing that they got Brian.
It was pretty amazing.
They must be paying him a lot.
Pulling out to the longer term time frame, it is starting to look as though this recent price move might allow the stock to resume its prior uptrend. We could go back in time here, look back at the history of the price chart, and see that there has been a significant run in this stock over time. However, more recent price moves really did put that under pressure. So this recent development for the company could change the overall trajectory of the stock price going forward. However, for anyone that's looking to trade this stock from the long side, you do need to also consider the potential risks that could be involved with this trade. So specifically, what I would be watching would come in at this 70.15 level. It does mark a triple bottom support zone that is critically important for this stock going forward. And as we can see, this rising 200 period exponential moving average is quickly coming into alignment with this price zone. So if we were to see a break back below here, and the stock was on the verge of doing this, we should keep that in mind. If we were to break below here, the stock would then be retargeting the prior price lows, which came in during the March 2020 trading session. So essentially, this would have been the start of the pandemic, the beginning of most of the panic as far as the commercial perspective is concerned. Stores having to lock down, especially restaurants and things like that. So as we can see here, this would be the downside target. And this price area did come in just above the $50 mark at $50.02. So overall, we will need to continue to watch this $70.15 level, because a break here would target much lower prices and would set the stock back on its prior trajectory, which was clearly focused in the downside direction.
I want to read from Howard Schultz, of course, Starbucks' founder. He's the chairman emeritus. He was apparently consulted on this hiring. He says, having followed Brian's leadership and transformational journey at Chipotle, I've long admired his leadership impact, his retail excellence and track record in delivering extraordinary value, recognize the critical human element it takes to lead a culture and values-driven enterprise. And I'm underlining those words because if you think about some of the criticism that Howard Schultz has leveled towards actually this management, I believe he is the leader the Starbucks needs at a pivotal moment in its history. He has my respect and full support. He then goes on to thank Melody and the Starbucks board for their deep commitment to shaping the future. Of course, one of the big questions now is going to be what the activist investors, Elliott and Starboard, which are taking positions, think of this. Are they going to still pursue trying to get seats on that board? What other kind of pressure points are they going to push? Or are they going to say, you know what, these are the operational decisions and moves that have to be made? We've said for a very long time this is a company that would struggle in many ways. There's not a financial engineering program that you can put into place at this company. This is an operational issue. Some people have talked about, do you spin off China? Do you franchise the business? I'm not sure any of those things are now going to be on the table, and maybe this is going to give them some room to try to figure it out.
Our High Value Trading Strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market-beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.